Hi,
Okay.
can I have your full name, please?
Hi, my name is Devabrata Kundu, and I'm originally belong from Kolkata, West Bengal. Yep.
And can I see your ID?
Okay. I'm just showing my passport for now.
Okay,
Um,
great. And where do you currently live?
I currently live in Belfast, Northern Ireland. I came here as a working professional from my employer on a global talent visa from 2021.
Do you live in a house or an apartment?
I live in a rented apartment.
What do you like the most about your home?
I like most about your home is it is situated near a well-known school. The community is really good, and all the shops are nearby because I don't have any private transport.
And is there anything you would like to change about your home?
I like to change the policy of garbage collection here because it is a weekly one. Sometimes the garbage are there in the street itself. So, if possible, I would like to highlight to the necessary council that it needs to be taken care regularly by them.
How important is it for you to feel comfortable at your own home?
It is very important to comfortable in home because I work from home. That's why it is necessary to have all the commodities in home. Along with that, it needs to have a proper environment to work from there.
And what do you usually do in your free time?
I normally watch TV shows like debate and other political debates and international geopolitics debates on my free.
Do you prefer spending your free time alone or with others?
It's both. It depends on my mood. Sometimes I prefer a free time alone, but sometimes I really enjoy playing with my child and discussing some different topic with my wife.
Have your hobbies changed over time?
Yes, in the childhood, I used to play so many games and sports, but now it is mostly about reading something important that can benefit me professionally or maybe gives me useful information. That's why it has changed over the course of time.
Do you enjoy listening to music?
Sometimes yes, but I'm not really fond of music that much.
And how many hours do you usually sleep?
Normally, I sleep around 7 to 8 hours, but as I have some uh, uh, something to work, so probably I'm doing some extra work here. That's why I'm not able to get much sleep, more than 8 hours sleep regularly.
Okay, I'm handing you over your cue card. You will be having 1 minute of preparation time, and then you will speak on this for 2 minutes. You now have 2 minutes to speak on the given topic.
Yeah, sure. To start with, I have learned generative AI and mechanism to use this in normal day-to-day development and software development work. Okay. It is the latest trend in software technology, which everyone must know nowadays because it has opened a new door of technologies. Okay. I learned it last year around December 2025 December because it gives a competitive edge to me, to my peers. Okay, and it was really helpful to understand new things because this is the latest trends where software industry is moving, and also nowadays it is going to be used everywhere, from software development to software testing to project management. Everywhere this generative AI is going to be used, and drastically it will change the approach how the software or SDLC cycle used to be. So it was a necessary from that perspective to learn this thing nowadays. Along with this, before the company pushed me to complete this, I proactively taken the challenge and completed this activity. I think I've completed my part.
You still have a few seconds left.
Okay. No, there is fine. I thought that could be okay. So how? Well, my question is how to understand. Should I use log to check my response was not accurate or it is not in time, or I need to
Okay.
basically
When you do have when you should try to speak in the entirety of the 2 minutes, when the examiner says that you have a few seconds left, you can just try to add anything from any of the pointers, and you can keep it brief so that you are able to complete what you're trying to say. Yeah. So you should try to speak for the entire length of 2 minutes. Don't get confused. You can just extend on something. For example, you mentioned that you learned this skill and it's really important. You gave details about it as well, but you forgot to mention where you learned it. So you could have mentioned the particular site, or perhaps your company must have shared a resource with you. You could have added those inclusions as well.
Okay. Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So for next time, you can proceed with that. Right. Now we're going to move on to the discussion section of our speaking. The very first thing I would like to ask you is, do you think practical skills are more important than academic knowledge?
Yes, I think practical skills are more important from academic knowledge, because academic knowledge gives you a base to perform, but whereas the practical skills give you some extra uh, benefits that you can use in your day-to-day work and handle or manage the pressure. So that way, I believe practical skills give you some more benefit than academic.
And what skills are important for young people today?
Uh, in my belief, the important skill is time management. Okay, making priorities in the work, understand the priorities of the work, and planning as well. So these three skill uh, gives a total benefit how you can handle a situation. It doesn't matter which industry you are from, but it will give a competitive edge, basically. Yeah.
Do you think schools should focus more on skill-based learning?
I think there must be a balance between skill-based learning and theoretical learning. Yes, theory is also important to the child because it gives a clear idea what the discussion is about. But practical skill also need to be taught in school because it gives the visibility, or it gives a visibility how the theories are applied into real life problems. It will give a benefit that the child will understand the theory in much better way when they can visualize a problem in their real life.
Can technology replace traditional skills? What do you?
No, I strongly believe technology cannot replace traditional skills like singing, painting, drawing, okay, or maybe crafting and other things. Yes, technology can help mankind to advance in their respective skills, but the basic skills like aptitude in math, logical problem solving, okay, those skills will never dissolve or never go out because even though the technology is going to be advanced, people will more need this kind of skill to make their day-to-day activities.
Do you think people are becoming less skilled because of technology?
No, I certainly don't think so. But earlier days, people used to have much more curiosity Now the curiosity is becoming what I can see is that curiosity is becoming less in the people mindset, but there is a certain group of people where this kind of traits still exist. Although in generic, people are becoming less curious on different topics.
Okay. That concludes your speaking. All right, Mr. Debrata, I've got your score with me for your IELTS academic speaking mock test that we just had. Now, you are showing characteristics that are often associated with a student that has a band 7.5 to a band 8.0. Now let's look at the examiner criteria, and I will assess you on each of those. As you know, there are four particular criteria that the examiner assesses you on. Starting with the first one, you have your fluency and coherence. Now, you have a band 8 in fluency and coherence because you maintain a very natural flow with minimal hesitation. And when you do pause, it is just because you are remaining, you're searching for the right idea, basically, rather than searching for words or grammar. So you're only looking for what to add in, what content to share with the examiner, not something with, oh, how can I construct this as a sentence? How can I come up with a word? So it's nothing language related. That's why your flow is exceptional. Now, when I talk about your cohesion, you have used a variety of discourse that was very impressive. Your discourse markers were used effectively. For example, you said to start with, along with this, from that perspective. And when I talk about your development, you provided me with extended answers, particularly in part three. You had specific examples and you had general opinions, and you were transitioning from them very smoothly. Then the next criteria that the examiners assess you on is the lexical resource, the vocabulary bit, and you have demonstrated using a wide range of vocabulary quite precisely. You had phrases like competitive edge, proactively taking the challenge, and you had discourse markers, and you used those technical words, especially in your part two, that show that it's great. Like you have professional and academic sophistication. There's another thing that the examiners assess you on. I hope you're aware of it. It's called the collocations. For example, word pairings, yeah? You use them very naturally. For example, you mentioned drastically change the approach, practical skills, theoretical learning. All of those were done great. And you were able to paraphrase well. When I asked you all those follow up questions as well, you were paraphrasing very nicely. So in lexical resource, you also have a band 8. Then in grammatical range and accuracy, you have a 7.5. You had a great mix of simple and complex sentences. You had a lot of conditional if sentences as well as relative clauses. And most of your sentences were error free. There were occasional minor slips, such as, it is very important to comfortable. When I asked you if it's like, should you be comfortable at your home, you said, it is very important to comfortable. And then you would kind of repeat a few words here and there. And there were just slight inconsistencies with articles and pluralization. But this is typical of a speaker under that has a band 7.5, but they're under pressure. So these type of slip ups show up from them quite often. And your errors do not impede your communication at all. Like I mentioned, yes, there were some pronunciation slips, but because as a human examiner, I will quickly be able to understand and catch on to what you're trying to share. So that brings us to the last section, your pronunciation. You have a band 7.5. You are very easy to understand, and you have intonation today. And you also had word stresses where you would highlight the key points. And you do have a noticeable first language influence. For example, because you don't have English as your first language, definitely. So that effect shows up while you're speaking when it comes to the accent, yeah. But it has no impact on the intelligibility. Just a suggestion, not that necessary, but to reach a band 8 or 9, you would need to slightly be more varied with your rhythm and just a finer control over certain vowel words. For example, there were some words like in the place of A, you would pronounce it like it's O. In the place of E, you would pronounce it like it's I. So it's just a little issue to do with the phonetics, and it is just the first language impact that's showing up on your speaking. So, in part two, this is your feedback for improvement now. In part two, like I noted, you finished early. Now, in a real exam, if you stop early, you lose the chance to demonstrate more complex language. You should always aim to speak until the examiner tells you to stop. In part one, ensure small grammatical structures are solid. These are easy mistakes and they can prevent a 7.5 from moving to an 8.0. For example, the verb to be plus adjective. Don't miss out on those grammar points. And then I'll talk about your elaboration. In part 3, continue to use the prep method. So, prep method is similar to the PEEL technique, but prep method is basically point, reason, example, point. Could you repeat that?
Okay.
Point?
Point, reason, example, point.
Perfect. That's just going to ensure that all your answer is fully rounded. And that's it. You have a fluency and coherence of 8.0, lexical resource 8, grammatical range 7.5, pronunciation 7.5, and overall estimated band would be between 7.5 to a band 8.